Hey everyone, welcome. Just a quick expert playthrough to finalise the set for today. So we're going to rattle through 9 holes quite quickly. Hole 1, par 3, sniper and kingmaker. We're going to go with, what did we go with? 4.5 back, 1 right. Which ends up not being a very good adjustment, so one to learn from in terms of what not to do. Yeah, I think we're going to need more right spin here. Probably nearer 3 right, 3.5 even, with the ball guide offset to the right of the hole. The adjustment will be 1 to 1 plus 1. That's what I'm going to play anyway. So you'll see this one's not even close. Backspin's probably not far off, 4.5. I think we need to play a bit more with the right spin and move the target left a bit, but we shall see. Birdie on the first though. Gets us going. Hole 2, par 4, trying to get it round the corner for a thorn dunk. Going with the Thor's Hammer 4 and a kingmaker. Max right, 3 top. Have the blue ring nearly touching the rough on the right. I think we may put a little bit more top on, yeah, we go 3 and a click. 3.2, let's call it. Max numbers, 5 rings. You do have to zoom out to adjust this one, as you can see. Or you can adjust it head on, of course. And go with half a ball of right curl. There is a hook to be had here, which I'm going to try and dial in on my other accounts tomorrow. Probably using the Apoc 4, so we'll have a bash at the hook, but that Thor gets us 352, which I think put us in thorn range for the dunk. Forgot to pause my opponent's shot. Cut off just at the wrong time. So yeah, thorn minus 10% uphill, 10% this. Got to try and find out where you are in terms of club. Full back. Arrows right at the back of the cup. I think we decided this one was about 80% club. So we're gonna move, what was that, 4.2 did I go? 4.1. Perfect ball's crucial, and then you just want to not hit the pin, and that'll do nicely. So yeah, 4.1 rings we moved there, which will be just shy of 80% club from that distance. But it all depends how far your drive goes, really. So this one I thought we'd try something different, hole 3. You can obviously bounce over. Full top, some left. But I thought we'd try a hook, just to see if we could get to that last bit of fairway. So we're going full top, full right. And the target reference was just left of that tree, with all the beans and full slice. As you can see, nearly gets through but not quite, so we stick in the rough. But to be honest, it's as makeable a Nirvana as it is a Goliath if you play the other way. So we'll still play the rough bump, just trying to work out where we are in terms of the club. With a crosswind like that, there's no real risk with this rough bump, even though it's a thin bit of rough. You've got the winds running perfectly across it. So any over or under adjustment, you should be fine. So what did we go on here? 675% club, so 4.2. Using don't know what that was, 2 or 3 topspin. Can't hit the perfect, so unsurprisingly we're going to miss this to the left. But frankly, that's having played Rookie and Pro and used the Goliath, rough or sand bump in each of those levels. That Nirvana is actually an easier shot. So don't be afraid of the hook off the tee. You might even make the fairway, in which case you'll have a lovely thorn. On to hole 4. I'm going to use the Apoc 4 with a Kingmaker. Max top, max right, or max top and as much right as you can. You can use an extra mile here if you want to, if you haven't got a higher Apoc. Extra mile 7 or 8 will do just as well. Or a Thor, if you've got a Thor 4 and above probably. You will need some overpower and some right curl, as you can see. I think we catch this great left. Yeah, we do. So great left's still okay, just great right would be okay too. So it's kind of a great proof shot. And that one goes, what does it go? 376. So that gives us a decent yardage note, although we're probably going to end up further right if we actually catch that drive properly. But from here we use the Thorn, pretty much max distance, 2 back and a bar to the left. And then we're going to try and offset that guide a bit, right and long, for the push we'll get off the wind. So I think we went all 4.2 of it here. Yeah, we did, even though we weren't quite at max distance. That one's going to come in nicely. On to hole 5. This will be a sniper and a Kingmaker. 20% over adjustment, excuse me, on the drive, or for the distance of the club it's just 1-to-1 is how I played this. So I went all the back and 3.5 right, which as you'll see was too much backspin. You want to be the white ring just into the sand there, with the ball guide short and pointing short and right of the hole. And as I say, I went 1-to-1. So if I'm going to do that again, I need to take off a bar of backspin, I think, and go with max minus a bar. That is a sniper 9, just beware of that if you've got a 10. I think the 10 has more backspin and a few more yards distance. So yeah, not an easy hole, that one. I can't see many people getting the ace there, so nothing really lost. Safe birdie. Hole 6 will be another par 5. So it's just about getting it on the second fairway here. Apoc again, full top, full right. I try and double bounce it across there. If you don't have the Apoc 4, then an extra mile 7 or 8 will do, or a higher level Thor. I would say a Thor 5 and above. So yeah, adjusting well into overpower. And then we're going to have the ball just touching the bottom of the adjustment circle on the outside. So it's probably about 60% overpower. But we get our hop, skip and a jump through the rough and we get to roll out, luckily. So that probably could have used a bit more overpower, I dare say. So from there you're going to have a choice. You can either play, well, you can play however you like, but if you took the Goliath, you would have a max Goliath or a min sniper. But with that wind and the adjustment, I'd probably recommend playing sniper. Of course, if you drive it further, and then you've got more options that are open to you. If you want to use a power 4, power 5 ball and hose it down the fairway a bit further. So for me, this is just about getting it on the green. If it drops in, then it's pure luck. Take the eagle here every day. Take care with these putts on this hole. It's on top of a hill and it's easy to miss those putts, believe me, especially from the other side if you finish to the right of the hole. So 7 is very makeable, probably the most makeable of the par 3s. We go sniper with 2 right and about 1.2 back, one and a click back, and then we just want to aim the ball guide through the hole so the white ring's not quite touching the rough at the top there, and from there we go the wind plus 2, so we're going to go 9.8 rings here. So 1 to 1 plus 2 rings. No curl. That comes in nicely. A little bit hot, so we might want to possibly add a touch more backspin to it, but to be honest, you need to get it running at the pin anyway, so it's just a case of fine tuning that, I think. So yeah, that's makeable. Hole 1 and hole 7, definitely the makeable par 3s this time round. Hole 8, final par 4. Yeah, do what you like here. You can try and take one bounce and then second bounce in the rough and roll out. The wind seems to vary. Sometimes you get pure cross, sometimes you get a little headwind like I have here. So I had a blast with a berserker, or tried to anyway, just to see what would happen. Move up nearly 8 rings there. Full overpower, no curl, no side. But unfortunately, at least a double great right robbed us of the chance to see how that would finish. So clipped the rough and then rolled out, and then made the rough again. But no problem reaching from here. Unlikely to sink the rough iron. If you got through it the fairway, then the thorn's makeable. Either way, you want to offset your ball guide to the right of the hole with that pretty steep crosswind. Be interested to see what a berserker does if you don't clip the rough. I would imagine you would roll through quite comfortably to the fairway. Did do it in pro, which has different wind admittedly, but ended up in that bunker to the right of the green, so you can definitely lash it down there. So yeah, ugly birdie, but nothing lost there really on hole 8, which just leaves hole 9, par 5. Not a hard hole, but for some reason I decided to make it difficult for myself, so I'm still quite perplexed how this happened. We went max top, max left. 4.9 rings was our adjustment. So I was going to try and borrow some of that, as you can see. And in hindsight, having just watched that back for the first time, I now realise what my error was. I didn't adjust actually, 4.9. which is why this happened. So, no harm in trying to borrow that wind, but you've got to adjust the number. I think I only went about 3.5 there. So from there the hole's ruined. You would normally roll out on the other side of that fairway and have a rough bump. Chance at albatross, quite a good chance as well with the wind direction. But as it stood, hack the Malibu up the fairway and then we'll have a go with the backbone. May look at playing left here on the drive actually. Just seems like the easier option. But we shall see. Benefit of the right is you've got a better line for the rough bump than if you play to the left with the drive. But we've still got a chance here. Nearly a max distance backbone. So we use a fair bit of left and some backspin. Line up with a hole. And then because we haven't reached the +1 yard mark, we're going to switch the ball to a power 0 ball to get the right ring adjustment. So yeah, instead of a power 3 ball, we'll just knock that down to 0, and that gives us 6 rings, which is a pretty cool trick I learnt last week from watching Andrew Hagen, so useful. But as you'll see, this is just going to miss. So disappointing on hole 9, should have been 14, but we settle for 13. Make it through, couple of drops, a few things to tidy up, but the startings of a decent week hopefully. So that was that, 13. There's now rookie, pro and expert guides like this on the channel. Check those others out if there's any value to you. Otherwise, best of luck for your rounds, and I will catch you next time. Cheers.